Good morning. Good morning. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. You should be able to see my screen. Hopefully, you should be able to hear my voice. I can see your chats. Good morning to you, Press. Good to see you, sir. Good morning, Perry. Good morning, Bob. New York. Thanksgiving with your son. Fabulous. My both of my children arrived on Sunday. It's been nice to have the whole family home. Very good. Okay, I think everybody's in. All the sound is on. Fabulous. Love it. Fantastic. Okay. Welcome to the Market Watch Group midweek check-in on our Thanksgiving extravaganza week. Our posture improved. We're feeling more bullish. We said there may be some consolidation. We did get some. We said it might not be much. It might just start wanting to run again. Our futures are up this morning. We may have to make those kinds of decisions today. We said volume will absolutely be lighter today. Plan for that. The volume will lighten up. It is a full day of trading, however, today. Can you explain why there are high spikes on candles sometimes? Does it mean something? So, I mean, if it's legitimate price action, yes, it means something, right? So if you see it spike up, come back down, and it's just a shadow or a wick, that means that it entered that range, but it didn't hold that range. It means it fell back down. So that would indicate that the buyers failed in their attempt to push it high. That's significant. Or vice versa. If it's a lower shadow, they failed. Sometimes, though, you'll see like a really big spike and you're like, what the hell? That's usually a bad data feed, and you'd want to go check a couple of other sources, right? So, check if you have two brokers, or if you have a platform and then an online version. You can go to Yahoo, you can go to places and get quotes, and then go to their charts and see if you see the same thing. So it could be an anomaly. If it's legitimate price action, that means that somebody tried something and failed, right? They failed to hold it in that area. Sandra asked how the turkey has now been soaking in its lovely bath of apple cider and beer, kosher salt, sugar, and various spices for 36 hours. It'll be removed tonight so it can dry overnight in the fridge before going into the smoker tomorrow. Woo-hoo, so excited. Let's dive in. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Here are the disclaimers. Here are the disclaimers. Here is the agenda for today. How long in the smoker? I'm thinking it's about 6 hours in the smoker. If you splatchcock it, right, you cut the back spine out and you open it up and it cooks more evenly. It's going to be magnificent. Magnificent. Today's opening analysis, we'll look at the futures. The futures are up. They were down a little overnight, and then they pop up a little bit here this morning. We'll take a look at our market posture to see if we feel like we got it right. Part of the adjustments that will absolutely be made on the weekend come from the evaluation during the week. When we revisit our posture, we're not just like, let's look at it. We're looking at it like, did we have it right? Does it feel like there might be a component or two that you were a little iffy on? And you're thinking, you know what? I'm going to score it this way, but I'm going to watch it during the week. Great. Watch it for what? Watch it to see if you We got a good sense for it. So that's what we're doing when we revisit the posture. It's not to just look at it. It's to kind of say, hey, are we on point? Did we miss it? Do we need to be prepared to adapt differently come our next evaluation? Mindset for any open trades. If you have anything open, I have to think it's bullish. Although there are times we get led by temptation into some bearish trades. We think what it was. And we think, oh, we're overextended. It's going to come down. And well, I'll tell you what, the buyers can just sort of keep on pushing at it, just like we've seen. We'll take a look at our shopping list to see if there's trades. Let me know if you have trades that you've put on, if you have trades that you're considering. I know there was some talks about Amazon. I liked the discussion. We'll see if there's anything like that. And then we'll just take a peek at our section 4 this week, risk management. If you have any specific, when we're going through, the reason I bring up trading plan progress is because if you're actually going in and you're giving me, remember my request for your trading plan is 3 days, 20 minutes specifically dedicated to the plan. A little longer if you're going to watch all the videos, because now I'm putting, there are foundations videos. If you look at the trading plan videos, they're only like 15 to 20 minutes. If you look at the foundation, those are longer. Those are like 45 minutes. They're good, they're helpful, but they are longer. So I would say 3 20-minute sessions, including watching the trading plan video. That doesn't include the foundations. That's outside of that, but I would still recommend you do it. Then as you're working on it on Wednesday, late in, near 10 a.m. when we're wrapping up, you can say, hey, I have a question about this. I was working on my plan and yada, yada, yada. You can do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can do it Wednesday. You can do it Friday. Remember, Friday, we're meeting 3 hours earlier. So, okay, let's dive in. Let's go see what's cracking. Market opens in 7 minutes. Well, there's some crazy like OpenAI, Microsoft drama with employees, and the battle for AI begins. Soon, OpenAI's robots will be fighting Microsoft's robots in the streets like gang warfare. And that's when you know the age of computers is rising. Okay. Dow is up 0.36. The S&P's up 0.36. The Dow is up 0.17. The NASDAQ, our magnificent leading technology NASDAQ, up 0.5. The Russell, one that we've said we've liked the momentum. I caught a piece of the last swing. The Russell up 0.75%. U.S. futures tick higher in holiday countdown. The volume will drop off, but if the buyers get a hold of it, they can push it all day. That's what I know. Look at oil today. Did you guys see that? Down 4% this morning, crude oil, 4%. We started to veer near that $80 level again, but I'll tell you what, the oil really has lost its shine for the market. Oil prices sink as OPEC meeting is delayed. There's the very specific news as to why. Great observation. Sandra said, looking at the 10 most common mistakes emphasizes the need for a trading plan. 8 out of 10 of them, I would say you could easily mitigate just through the strength of your trading plan. I 100% agree with that. So we are preparing for Black Friday, and retail is always looked at. Here we can see gas prices hit lowest level of 2023. Very nice. Meme stocks are back on the move again. Stonks. I don't even know what that means. I hate meme stocks. I'll be honest. That's about it for the news. Let's look at the calendar. So today did we get jobless claims? I think we did, right? We got jobless claims. What did they come in at? Durable goods. Sentiment comes out a little later. If anyone sees what the jobless claims came back at, let me know. I bet it came in around 225 to 235, somewhere in that range. It's been very steady. Tomorrow, nothing, obviously. We will all be feasting. Friday. We do have market. We don't have much by way of data. The market will open at the regular time. 9:30 a.m. Eastern. It will close at 1 p.m. Eastern. So it is a 3.5 hour short session. Okay. Fed Watch, we are 3 weeks away. Oh, look at that. Bob said that it wait, I've got two different numbers. 260, Bob, jobless claims dropped to 209, Steven. 260 or 209? All right, we'll see. One's from Market Watch, one's from Google. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. Weekly jobless claims. Oh no, look, Bloomberg. I'm going to Bloomberg for the tie. Fell by 24,000. We are 209. 209. Bloomberg wants me to pay. I don't want to pay Bloomberg. Okay. Well, what does that tell us? Continued strength in the labor market. No concerns that way, which is great. I mean, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So let's start to take a look at this. I saw something that mentioned the 4-week average, and I was thinking, you know what? That might be something that I want to look at. Why? Because I say as long as it stays below 250, and then even then, if it were to get to like 270, 280, it would have to be multiple weeks. So I'm thinking maybe if the 4-week average gets above 250, it would take a little bit for it to get there and stay there. Then maybe I'd be a little more concerned. I don't know. I'm trying to make that a little bit. I mean, obviously, you have to adapt to conditions, but I do like to have specific metrics. Okay, long-term trend, we kept it as is. We were right to do so. Short-term trend, we gave it an extra point. Excuse me, an extra quarter of a point. There's the opening bell. We gave it an extra quarter of a point. We said we could have gone even an extra half a point, which would have been a very strong move. But we remember we had a strong jump. So we said we expect buyers to continue, and we see increasing underlying strength in the market. And here's Monday, here's Tuesday, here's Wednesday. So what's happened? We were kind of pushing resistance. And what did it do? Just kept on pushing. Did not get any new volume here. This is not above average yesterday or on Monday. It was already below average. Average was 84 million. We dropped to 70 million. Yesterday, we dropped to 49 million. I told you what would happen, right? I told you the volume is going to drop by today, half at best, 37 million, 38 million at best. I don't think we're going to see a lot of volume, but I think we could easily push. We could end up 1% higher today. It's tough. This is a tough one because you are in an overbought market. The vast majority of what we're seeing is going to be in an overbought condition. Okay. We'll watch the range here in just a minute. We'll take a peek at the opening range. So what are you trading? What's on? Oh, look at that VIX. Look at that VIX. All the way back down into the 12s today. Fantastic, right? And if you remember that the market that I am comparing to, if you look at this period of time back here, and you look at the starting, what did it do? It was up here in the 20s, and it precipitous drop all the way down here. And then we had just one little blip, and then we had a nice back down again. What did we do over here? Precipitous drop, one little blip, and then back down again. And you'll notice the length of this second move, pretty similar. Okay, now what did the market do during that time? If we're correlating the VIX to the SPY to the market, let's put the market up. So, yeah, right. You can see what the market did. And there's more to come. But what do we think may be coming our way soon? We may have ourselves a little bit of a consolidation, whether it looks like this one over here, right? So you can see what happened. All of a sudden, within the next day or two of us getting down here, we popped up a little bit, a pullback, and then again. So that's the kind of correlation that we're looking for, is do we still have two more moves left? Does it have the ability to come back and give us another one? Or is it just continuing? Remember what we said. We said we have to be ready to take, in addition to bounce trades, you have to be ready to have breakout potential and continuation potential. Breakout potential is where you're going to need volume. Continuation, all I need is Heikin Ashi. It's tough. Look what you've had. We haven't seen a red candle. We haven't seen a red candle since October. When you look at the Heikin Ashi, a lot of strength there. That's why we've been scoring the market increasingly so. The struggle has been, are you finding good entry signals, consistency? Sometimes in situations like this, and we said the market, the institutions have plenty of money. So when they commit, it can just move. They can just push it. Push. What is Heikin Ashi? This is a chart type. So I use candles. These are just regular candles, open, high, low, close, versus Heikin Ashi candles, HA candles. These also have bodies and shadows, but instead of drawing the body at the open and the close, we draw the body. The open is drawn at the midpoint of the previous candle body. So wherever you see one candle start, if you look just to the left, you'll notice you're right at the middle of the previous candle's body. This one starts here, right at the middle of this one here. Red is the same. Here to the middle, here to the middle, here to the middle. What that does is it smooths out the volatility. There's no gaps. So it's very nice for recognizing when momentum has shifted, for staying with momentum. As long as the candles are white, we stay with it. So what would we be doing right now? Stay with it. It also gives you a reference point to set and adjust stops. Put your stop loss under the candle, then under the next one, then under the next one. People say, is this a trail stop? I am trailing the stop, but I'm manually doing it. So no, it's not a trail stop. It's me moving my stop loss. Look at this thing, just like you're walking up the stairs. And all of a sudden, whoop, you're up here. Hopefully that makes sense. Great, great trade management perspective. What else? So we've looked at the short term, the long term, we've looked at the short term, we've looked at the volume. That's not what I meant to do. The volume is not going to have big volume days. So you might think there's no way we raise our score. Au contraire, mon frère. The old selling volume dropping off is going to have an impact. So by the time we get to, this is all that's left. Just these last couple of candles. This is not above average right here. It was not 5% or more. This is 2 candles. But then I've got 1, 2, 3 candles. Now it's going to be 3-2 for the buyers. And the buyers are fresh and the sellers are stale. That's what we're going to assess. It's going to definitely, volume is going to increase. We have seen, and hopefully you can see why I like this 1 month perspective, because it's enough time to weed out the old volume and show us the new. All right. Major market and sector rotation. I've already been, they're both probably where they're going to be. I don't see that going up. So volume will go up. Short-term trend is going to go up. The VIX, maybe. I think we're going to be at least a 3.75, if not a 4. Right, by the time we meet on Sunday, based on this market, unless something crazy happens between now and then. Remember what we have: a light volume Wednesday, a half a day Friday on even lighter volume still. And it seems like the buyers have the pull, right? They're pulling right now, and the sellers are trying to get their feet and they can't. Okay, there's just not enough volume to create the other side of that. Okay. Let's go take a look at our opening range on look at that, VIX just dropped, man, in the 12s. What does that mean? That means that if you have bullish trades on, especially if you have a number of bullish trades on, the more bullish trades you have, the more you might, as we get into Friday especially, start thinking about a hedge. Right? You might think about a hedge when they're cheap. When you don't need them is when they're cheapest. And so, just always think about that. If we get near a 12 and I have on a few bullish trades, I'm going to take a hedge. It'll probably be a half a hedge, but it's going to be a hedge. You can see where we are already. A little bit of a push, right? Buyers came in, bam, bam, 2 candles up. See if that becomes the top of the range or not. We're only 1 minute into that next candle. So, all right. Oh, let's get into the watch list. The VIX. Let's look at the VIX one more time. So the SPY, we're definitely pushing. The VIX here is pushing lows. Yeah, look, everything's coming up pretty strong. We've been sniffing this out now. This is the 4th week, or this will be 4 straight weeks on Sunday of improvement, I believe. Is that right? I think that's right. It's nice to see. You can, oh, it was tough right down here, right? But even at this low, we said if you're gonna do it, this is the day. Right? And got a little bit. Did we have as much? I always tell people, what's the concern? I wish I would have had more. I didn't have very much on. Why? Well, because my posture wasn't great at the time. Why would I have a lot on there? Right? Okay. Let's get into it. Apple just keeps on smashing higher. Smash. Adobe smashing higher as well. Adobe actually gave a little bit of a turn signal. You can see we did have these flags here, these little consolidations. And we said, well, you got to decide, is that enough? Is that enough? American Eagle's earnings did not go well, which is why we watch and wait and don't necessarily like to get in and hold through. They were looking for 47. They got 49. So people are like, why did it drop down? They exceeded expectations. Not by enough. They lowered their guidance, or something happened where they said, we did this, but, and as soon as they said, but, investors are like, nah, I think we're done. Okay. Aflac kind of getting the, so there was a little bit of a hiccup in the insurance, but they seem to like be figuring it out. I actually think PGR is the strongest now. Let's do these real fast. Here's AIG, very similar. Actually, I would say they're pretty heavily correlated. I'm thinking that there's more opportunity in other areas. That's why we expanded our watch list with additional financial stocks. AMD, that might be it. That might be it. You have to decide if did this consolidate and it's turning to go again. You put your stop on. Same with Amazon. Sandy liked this one. We talked, Steven said maybe one last consolidation. Well, it did it yesterday and it's turning today. So got to make those decisions. Some of these things are moving. Yeah, press. That's a great question. He said, if a trade you are watching hits its target entry point within the first 20, do you wait? I do. I really don't trade the first 20. I watch and see. Does that cost me entries? Sometimes, yes. Does it also save me from not entering? Sometimes, yes. Whatever you do it consistently. Right? Whatever you do it consistently. Sorry, hold on just 1 second. Okay, that is my trading plan. Correct. Okay, Asana. This looks pretty good, actually. Right? This is the kind of thing that would still have me thinking, hey, we may have ourselves an opportunity. I've got earnings here. I'm thinking to myself, right? This is the same kind of a thing that we're seeing right in here. Does this come down, give us this turn? Does this come down, give us this turn? This is where our opportunity is. Hopefully we have about 2 to 3 days where we have time to still catch it before earnings. And I would actually say it could be over the next day or two. We sold off yesterday. We're back up today on an inside day. Yeah. And do we have the ability to anticipate trades right now? Yeah. I do think so, right? We have more leeway with an improved market posture times where you're like, oh, I need more confirmation than this back in August and September and October. I don't have that as much now. I have more underlying strength that I can rely on that lets me get into trades in an anticipatory fashion. AXP is new. This same thing, guys. There may not be much. This was the last consolidation. It just went sideways. It never left this area. Is there some rule out there that says, well, once it's done that once, it won't do it again? No, we have to be prepared that might happen again, and we have to be ready to simply trade as it leaves this consolidation, thinking it might just find its way right back up here where it was when? At the end of summer. At the end of summer, then in a position to what? Go gain some new ground. Boeing, strong. You can see Boeing had that. That was it. That was a very minor little consolidation right there. Right? Very minor consolidation. BK is in now. Oh, okay. Look at this one. This one here, we broke the old resistance. We're at new highs. But they didn't get very far because it's hard. They just did all of that. Now we're taking a break. Anywhere from where it is to this level in here. This type of a trade, very nice. This is a financial that we added to the mix. Love that. Looking strong. Looking strong. There's still plenty of opportunities developing for us. You don't need to force trades just because your posture's improved. Can it be frustrating that, you know, our desired entries aren't showing up? Sure, absolutely. Me as well. BX, a little overextended. City. Right? This is what we're seeing in the financials. It's overbought. It's rolling over to the downside. We seem to be in these real mild flag type consolidations. Do I think this is going to give me a signal to trade over and hold through Thanksgiving? Probably not. Do I think this could give a signal as we get towards Monday, Tuesday? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Capital One, same thing. So financials, right? Now, does that mean let's just put a bunch of financials on? No, you gotta decide how much risk are you willing to have in financials, right? What is implied volatility? I noticed that, so implied volatility is option pricing. It can fluctuate a lot of different ways. So like right now on Capital One, options are priced very, very low. This is the lowest you see. This is when the options are their most expensive. So when you see this, you're thinking, oh, I got to be real careful. When you, as a buyer of options, when you see this, you're thinking, all right, cheap options, let's buy some. It's less a implication of which way the stock might move, and it's more about how the options are priced. Is it part of the Greeks? One of the Greeks, which is Vega, which is always interesting because Vega is not actually a Greek letter. But it's a car. No. The Vega has to do with how options behave in regard to changes in implied volatility. So yes, it's definitely a part of it. Okay, let's keep going. Oil, not looking good, like we said. Costco. Did anybody take the Costco trade? We identified this on Monday. Press. Yeah, he's excited. I'm excited for him. Yes, sir. Look at that. That's a classic. What did it do? It made a new high. It pulled back. It gave us a support level. It turned, gave us the turn. I would imagine yesterday. You could have taken it Monday. You could have taken it yesterday. Can you take it today? I would say probably so. It's not been a huge move. Now is when you can start to think about a continuation entry, because look at this. You've moved out of these transition candles into this momentum candle. And we think, hey, I could get in today and put my stop down here. But now, if you're already in it, you have the ability at the end of today to move your stop up underneath today's low. And then again, and then again. And what is our expectation? At this point, I'm looking for five to six more white days. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for it. Press is hoping for it. Anybody else? Love it. Awesome. That was a good one. There wasn't a lot that we saw earlier this week, but that was definitely one of them. CPRT, yeah, this sucker's just out in space. We gotta relax, let it come down. Yeah. CrowdStrike, look how close you are to earnings now. I mean, that there just wasn't much anywhere in any of this, to be honest. Day is that is on the 28th aftermarket. Yeah, there's not much left there. Dell is one that we looked at on our last options class. And then, you know, if you waited until Monday, you could have taken it and gotten a better we actually talked about it on our options class here. Then it's made the turn. So it's not done much. I'll tell you that. It was an iffy trade. Why was it an iffy trade? Because let's just remember back to Press's previous question about implied volatility. What does this mean? It means the options are expensive. So when we ran the numbers on a trade over here, we had better than 3-1 on the stock, but we were barely able to get 2.5 to 1 on the option. The option was causing our reward to risk to drop. I mean, 2.5 to 1 is still okay. There was not a better way to do the trade. So this was a little bit iffy. And what made it iffy was the expensive options. If you decided to do a spread trade, that would be a horse of a different color. Yeah. DHI, home builders are consolidating, but maybe ready for a breakout of that little consolidation. Dow pushing higher. EA. EA gave a trade signal early on Monday. You can see we had this consolidation and it turned. That was a communication services. Still has some potential. I would say this has the potential to come on up and get up here to 140. Fastenal hitting some resistance. Looks like it's pulling back. Gold pushing resistance. Google just really, it's just been kind of meandering higher, just wandering higher. Gap is hitting some resistance. So Gap had the opposite reaction to American Eagle. Gap went up, American Eagle went down. Home Depot, not much there, pushing resistance. IBM was one that I did take over in this area. Still looking okay. But I finished my trade on Friday. And you can see even here, this day was like, well, and then nothing. And then, yeah, so I feel fine with my exit. ICE. Tell me if I touch on one that you're trading or thinking about. ICE. I would have liked to have taken that one. I just hadn't been watching it long enough to trade that one day consolidation. I tell people all the time, I really don't love one day consolidations. Intel, a little bit of a consolidation happening now. Possibly this thing is in blue skies. if you want to look at like where has Intel been, you can see Intel can get up here to 70. So if you're like, oh, I don't know, man, where's it even going to go? Go all the way back up to 70. Been there before. When this thing is, look at its momentum and its trend. Looks just fine, right? IWM is kind of stalled a little bit here. The small caps, I'm still waiting for a pullback. JP Morgan waiting for a pullback. KKR waiting for a pullback. Meta, guess what I'm doing? Waiting for a pullback. A lot of that going on in tech and communication services. Ooh, look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA reported earnings. They did well, expecting 302, got 402, and you're like, why isn't it smashing higher? Well, because it already smashed higher. I'm waiting for it to pull back and stabilize here at 474. Beautiful trade developing for us there. PDD, waiting for the pullback, coming a little close to earnings. PGR gave a signal. I think it was the only one that gave that classic signal. But it's slow. It's moving slowly. PLTR coming back to us. Patience. We said on Monday, it's overextended. We got to be patient. Now by Wednesday, our patience looks to be paying off. This thing could turn anytime. Well, not today, probably, or maybe it stabilizes Friday, turns Monday, and we trade it Monday. Fine, that's fine. Let's just be ready. When it starts to do what you're looking for it to do, you start to prepare for how you're going to trade it. Look at PNC. Magnificent. Consolidation after a new high. Financials is definitely kind of leading the way for the signals. It seems like technology and communication services are a day or two behind, or maybe even a little further behind in their cycle. Starbucks. Starbucks has pulled back after a new high. Sellers seem to be running out of steam. Look at today, an inside day. That would be one where you would think, can I anticipate on this? That would be anticipatory because the price action falling is stopping, but the stochastics hasn't turned. I think so. I think that looks very strong and very bullish. Yeah. Shopify overextended, needs the consolidation. SMCI, like PLTR, is consolidating. I still like PLTR better. SPY, let's go look at that opening range that we are so big on and why we use it. Bing, bing, we said this might be the top of the range. Indeed it was. Now the sellers pushed it and broke the bottom of the range. Now we're trying to get back into the range. If we don't get back into the range, we could lose our momentum. So let's be aware of that, right? Let's be aware of that. Okay. Let's go to, where are we? Tesla. Ooh, Tesla looked like it wanted to give a trade, but it is not yet. UBS, very similar to the other financials. UMP, not quite there yet. Visa, no. VIX, still low, but gave a little back. Here's WMB. I don't like any oil stocks, but I guess I would like that one the best. Here's Walmart. Walmart still can't figure it out. Energy can't figure it out. Financials is looking good. Industrials is looking good. Staples, yeah, it's turning. It looks like it's turning for like a potential trade, but and utilities. All right. Well, okay, we'll see. It looks like we may still have to be, in a little bit of cautious. I would like to trade more because my posture is stronger, but I'm not going to force trades. There are still plenty of things that are close or that need to pull back, especially technology, which is my favorite. So I'm not going to force trades. I'm going to be patient, manage the trades I have. I'm definitely keeping an eye on those cheap puts. If I see that my bullishness gets to a certain point, I'll look to put a hedge on. Okay. Remember that this week you have a little extra time because we are not meeting tomorrow for Trading Foundations, obviously. If you missed yesterday, we had a great session on post-trade analysis. How do you learn, gain better experience, leverage what you get from every single trade, particularly losers? That is in the videos ready for you to go watch and enjoy. Nothing tomorrow. Friday, 12:15 p.m. Friday, 12:15 p.m. Eastern. Oh, great. I'm glad you liked it. Will be our next meeting for our market wrap up. Don't forget that this week you are working on section 4. Where is it? Trading plan outline. Section 4, risk management. Just know how you define your risk. Heat, lovely. Sorry, Sandra. You may want to watch that recording. Portfolio heat, trade risk, number of trades, adjustments, how you correlate it, how you hedge, when do you take breaks. Those are the things that should be described and accounted for in your risk management plan. I hope everybody has a magnificent Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be starting some cooking this afternoon. I do the yams too. I make a good yam. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be safe. Eat, drink, be merry. Enjoy Black Friday. I'll see you. I'm not going Black Friday shopping until after. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna watch the market, do some trading, talk to you guys, and then I'm out. I'm out shopping, probably with my son. Have a wonderful day. As always, happy trading.